This news from Chicago Law comes on the same day Cook County gets a new state's attorney who is drafting a new policy on gun violence on day one.
CBS News Chicago's political reporter Chris Tye here now with a closer look at this case that's unfolding like we're seeing in Chicago Law, and also how state's attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke's approach may differ from her predecessor, Kim Foxx.
That's exactly right, Joe and Erica. Really kind of underlining the point she's making here on day one. Burke describing Cook County as a region primed to boom, but overshadowed by crime. This shooting in Chicago Lawn is the kind of case that she's talking about, with multiple deaths, that leads her to compare Chicago and Cook County to a war zone.
We have war zone numbers of people being wounded by gun violence right now. We are having a mass shooting on a regular basis. We are becoming numb to the numbers. I don't want to become numb. I want to do something about it.
And so on day one, she is proposing a widening of the number of cases where her team will petition for a defendant to be detained until trial. There are 5 categories, and this first one may be applicable to the case unfolding today in Chicago Lawn. She wants those charged with detainable felonies to be held pre-trial if they're alleged to have used guns with extended magazines or automatic switches, which turn ordinary guns into automatic weapons. She'd also seek pre-trial holding of these cases, those charged with domestic violence or sex offenses using weapons, detainable felonies on public transit, buses and trains, sex crimes where the victim is under 13 and the offender is an adult, and all child pornography cases would also fall into this bucket.
We are primed to boom, but we are being overshadowed by crime right now. While our crime rates are beginning to come down, the progress is not sufficient, particularly when it comes to gun violence.
Now, among those there for her swearing in this morning, several former Cook County state's attorneys, including former Chicago Mayor Richard Daley, seen in this video with Superintendent of Chicago Police Larry Snelling. Not in attendance today, outgoing state's attorney Kim Foxx. Joe and Erica.
Let's get back to this detention policy for gun crimes. I guess, does this signal something, and can she do it?
Well, I think what it signals is that she's going to be tough on crime. Some legal experts say that may or may not come out in the wash. They tell me the sticky part here is not about the areas she's targeting, public transit or domestic violence with guns, but the rule that anyone in these categories, that detention will be sought. Experts say that doesn't take into account possible extenuating circumstances. Something called Pretrial Fairness Act comes into play here. That's kind of in the weeds, but it may be tested overall as she kind of makes the move to this new style of trying to get people behind bars and stay behind bars, Joe and Erica, awaiting trial.
New era starts today.
Indeed.
Chris, thanks.
You bet.